It's April 17th, 2024. I'm inside of this. Um, I returned back to work yesterday. Um, and I was on the schedule for 5 hours, but they switched my schedule around. I'm only supposed to be there till 2 because of my son, but they switched me around till 4. They put me on 3 days at 5-hour shifts. Um, and so I was lucky yesterday. I got through the 3 hours, not a problem. But then I had to leave 2 hours early in order to get to the local public school. I had my SLT meeting and then a PTA after. Um, so, in 3 hours on my feet, I mean, like my ankle, like the memory of the injury was very present, but I could handle it. I tried to make no mention of it. I tried not exaggerating the emotion because I know I'm on surveillance camera. Um, so I just quietly held staunch in reaction. I told the story very few times, not to make like a melodrama out of it. Um, Today, however, I went in. Today is a completely different story. Today's 5 hours on my feet. It turns out in weather related, there's some kind of storm system that we're experiencing with rain clouds and pre- precipitation. So I don't know how that's changing and affecting the dynamics of like interstellar space to my interstitial relation and how it physiology works. And I don't have real scholarly academic words for it. So, but I do have real medical journal notes for myself and what I'm experiencing. So 3 hours, my heart, my circulation, I was okay. I was getting by, I was getting through it. Um, no real dietary changes to speak of. Today, 5 hours on the clock. By the 3.5 hours going into 4 hours, all of a sudden it was like some kind of storm system, like some kind of pressurized system just descended upon me. And it was like lower torso, like the lower half of my body, like into my lower extremities, the circulation all of a sudden was so much it was like change in like a change in pressurization. Um and it was really like it was going straight into my heels. I was also noticing that in muscle deterioration or cellular degeneration, my muscles are not holding and forming like even with consistent workouts. I don't know what's going on. I also noticed that in laboratory and training, when I was at NCC, they in NASA community, they taught that the epidermis sloughs off. They had a specific medical term for it, which I can't remember right now. But it peels off in dermal sheets. The cells grow together like on a histology type of a way. Um, I'm having some form of polarization change, um, even within my epidermal cells. They are not creating dust, like they're just not sloughing off in like in sheets or there's, and it's a, like if I had a real, let's just say if I had Jefferson and I was going to Port, um, and if he was writing a very specific medical paper, um, and he needed an example for case study, if and only if it was appropriate to speak of such terms. But again, he being the science principal in this conversation, I just being a person who's experiencing a problem at the moment. Um, the most respectful journal entry, it's the skin is not the normal epidermal layer of skin is not sloughing the way that it should be. Um, I don't know if it's a polarization change. I don't know if it's an external polarization change due to other um, telephonic sciences that are going on around here with the enhancement of digital package and Wi-Fi and whatever. Or if it is interstitial fluid like the plasma, something internal that's causing um, cellular changes. Um, but I noticed um, that there are exterior cellular changes on my own epidermis, and really for the purpose of today, the standing for the extra 2 hours, um, I was fine. I didn't need to sway. I didn't need to change um, footing. And then all of a sudden, pressurization changes hit, and I was trying to rock forward on my toes. I realized that my calves were not contracting the way that they normally do. Like to hold my pose on my toes. It's just there's some real effects that are going on which are very frightening. Um and I also noticed when I went to read the clipboard um, with the aisle assignments, my eyes, when I look at the text on the sheet, are having like the words were hard for my eyes to see and for my brain to process today. Out of all days, I was okay on the Magellan machine, um, but at like the aisle, but I was having trouble with just regular text on a paper. Um, and again, I don't know what kind of changes are going on. I don't know what to avoid. I don't know what's safe. Um, but I'm back to work. So um, that was yesterday, today, and I have one more day tomorrow. But I'm, even when I walk, I mean, I look like one of the geriatric patients or one of the geriatric clients that go through the store. I'm shuffling my feet. It's, I'm having trouble shifting my weight because there's just so much pain, and it's more like um, the connective tissue inside of the joint between, like, say the talus and the calcaneus. It's like inside the spaces in between the bones is where the pain is emanating from, which is odd all on its own because it, again, I don't know the nerve systems. I haven't studied it that closely, um but even when I'm in a resting position like I am right now, phantom pain comes through like the connective tissue. Um, it's an odd sensation. Um, but that's what's going on today in the local area. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. And I would, because they didn't have me on the schedule till 11, I was able to get on the Zoom call this morning. So I spent half of the call with them. Um, it's Earth, solar system. Uh, I'm just going to skip that for tonight. It was a long day.